All right. So again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to join in with the AMA for WOOOOO Coin. Again, uh, there's some interesting ties here as Ric Flair himself is actually a founder, not just, inspired by. And that's what I said. We've seen a lot of these inspiration coins in the past, but Rick is actually involved. The team has contact, and I believe they're actually in the process of setting up a space that should go live in the next couple of weeks. Which, I can't wait to kind of participate in that myself. But they have been making some noise, with Woo, inspired by Ric Flair himself. 13 million, roughly just over that all-time high. Woo itself is not just a meme, though. As I mentioned in my introduction, Rick has some ongoing brands that currently exist, like WOOOOO Energy, and Merc will kind of break down those a little bit more throughout the AMA. But the token itself kind of plays off the branding from what are already established in Web 2. And, Ric Flair himself is one of the longest standing, I believe, professional wrestlers of all time. He's in the Hall of Fame. And, personally, he's got one of the best, kind of most memeable. I mean, I would say there's probably The Rock, John Cena, and Ric Flair that are in that category of the three most memeable wrestlers. So, the selection of the brand, his name, his longevity, I think, which is why you guys decided to launch on Ethereum, does really connect well. And I mean, like, my theme for 2024 is kind of like been following the breadcrumbs. So there's a lot of really unique aspects here that when we peel back the layers of the AMA and really jump into what Woo is as a brand, I think you guys will really start to understand what some of the longevity pieces are with this. So again, bit of a atypical introduction. For me, I just really love the branding. I think, again, what you guys are doing and the fact that it's connected to Rick is really cool. And, the chart is super impressive, guys. So, for me, a lot of respect to what you guys have built out. Merck's did a terrific job kind of community building in the early stages, and all the panelists on Monday night were really impressed by kind of the longevity. And, we've seen Soul kind of take over from a volume perspective, but personally, if you want to build a long-term meme and you want to build it right, build it on ETH, because you allow a lot more opportunity, in my opinion. So, you know what, guys, with that being said, I will throw you the mic. Super excited to break down everything that Woo's about today. And yeah, my voice was a little bit better, and I didn't think it was going to crack on the mic and make me sound like a 13-year-old. I definitely drop one for you, but I'll say about my voice and I'll get it done on the back end.
Yeah, for sure, man. You're good, man. I appreciate that intro, dude. Yeah, man, the team's really excited to be here. We got three of us here right now. And yes, I mostly handle, I go by Mr. Mark. I mostly handle community management and PR and marketing strategies. So really excited to be here. We got two of the founders here with us today, which is awesome. They weren't in my other AMAs, but they're here now, which is really great. Excited for them to be able to explain some more things in more detail, things that I can't cover exactly. So really excited for that. And yeah, I mean, I'll let them introduce themselves as well if they would like to.
Yeah, what's up, guys? WOOOOO here. I am one of the founders, and currently running day-to-day operations of WOOOOO. Really came into this project about 6 months ago with OXW, who is also on the call here with us as another founder. We another one of our partners had the
I think we
You cut out, bro. You
Zero
can
X, if you want to take over
yeah.
while Woo Dude just reconnects, that works for me.
Yeah, sure, man. All good, man. So, yeah, I think what he was getting to was about 6 months ago. Everybody came and sat at my desk, and we were really looking at how we can push the other brands that we have in the market, right? So, as within our group, we own a lot of, as Maurice stated, a lot of Web 2 and real world products. So we've got our WOOOOO Energy, right? WOOOOO Energy, we are the official sponsor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're the official sponsor of the W. We're the official sponsor of the Columbus Blue Jackets NHL hockey team. So, we've got a lot of real world sponsorships, a lot of real world marketing, real world activities. But then we also have real world products, and these real world products that are for sale in the market really needed a way in which to resonate with youth and international crowds. And one of the things that we've been doing with our good partners over at Fate Labs, if you guys don't know Fate Labs, check them out as well. We've been talking with them about a lot of the technology that they have built over there in terms of IVNs and payment processing gateways for crypto swaps and real world utilities. So speaking with our dev over there and all their team members, we really came to an understanding that, with Ric's legacy being a 16-time world champion, being internationally known throughout Asia, throughout the US, Europe, Latin America, the Caribbean, everywhere we go, we see and hear people wooing, right? And when you look in the crypto space, which we've all been in on ourselves, basically myself, I've been in since '09. I mean, I had one of the first processing platforms out there to allow the digital media streaming, Bitstream, if anybody remembers it. We did quite well in the day. We look at the space and everybody's using Ric Flair and everybody's using the woo for all of this shit coin, altcoin, and Bitcoin and, Ethereum, right? Sol, I mean, any chain you go to, people are utilizing and maximizing their excitement for that project with the representation of Ric Flair and his woo. So we approached Ric, our partner, and said, hey, buddy, everybody's utilizing, your likeness in the space. Everybody's using your trademark signature woo to promote their products. What do you say we team up with our good guys over at Fate and we build a project that has longevity, that can last the test of time, and really establish the flag in, sort of, let's call it the final chapter, right? Which is crypto. I mean, Ric has been involved in every product under the sun. We've brought to market, from clothing and merch, which everybody sees, when RicFlairShop.com, to, music videos with Offset. I mean, Ric Flair drip to, WWE, to World Wrestling Championship, to, AEW. I mean, he's really conquered everything. And to leave a mark and a legacy in the crypto world was something that was extremely exciting to us. But the journey obviously is the thing in which that's the most fun, right? Is how can we garner and gather excitement? How can we, really embrace the spirit of a true woo, and what can we do to hype up a community that's just going to be utilizing the gifs and images anyways that are all spread throughout crypto? And, the answer was quite simple, was, create and launch a meme coin, an official meme coin with Ric, but then go and attach real world utilities such as, WooPay, such as IVNs, such as real world giveaways, to where, anything and everything that people do, to really broaden the scope or the branding of Ric, the Nate, and or Woo, right? That they can be rewarded with some type of gift. And that gift could be, WOOOOO Energy drinks. It could be Woo merch. It could be real world gold Woo tokens. It could be, in the form of cryptocurrency. It could be in the form of, events, private dinners, boat rides, just, drinks with Ric, right? Knowing, okay, hey, we're going to be drinking at this bar on this random Saturday or Sunday or Tuesday night, having drinks. And you know what? We're going to take a couple of you big bag holders that are in the area or want to be in the area. And if you're willing to dox out, come and enjoy a great night of food and beverage with Ric and team, right? Just, these types of things don't really happen in the real shit world space, but Ric really loves his fans. He really loves to see everybody have a great time and live life the way in which that Ric lives life. So, to really garner the spirit of woo and bring this globally is something that us as a team, we're just like, let's see how we can't make that happen.
I love that. That's a very deep introduction. So I appreciate so much detail there that you provided. And let me know if Woo Dude was able to reconnect, because I know that he wasn't.
Yeah,
Kinda finished with-
I did. I didn't real my
Awesome.
stupid Bluetooth headset died. Sorry. So I don't know. I was in the middle of a rant. It was like, when you're talking yourself, you're on mute. So I don't know what came through and what didn't.
Classic.
Buddy, not literally, you just started. You said 6 months ago, and then you went dead.
Dude, I talked for probably literally 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, go ahead, Alex W. And I was like, oh shit.
The time when I'm gaming, my
No.
headset's on mute, and I'm like, boys, no one hear me? They're like, you've been gone for the last 10 minutes. I'm like,
I don't
okay,
do
so I'm talking to
AMAs often,
myself.
so I should have noticed the green microphone wasn't lit up. But yeah, so anyways, maybe you heard, maybe you didn't hear. It sounded like Alex W did a good job of summarizing, in general what I was getting at there. But I think the most important aspect here is that we are here as a coin to stay. This isn't a quick get rich quick pump and dub type scheme. We have a lot of liquidity. We have real world individuals here. Ric, is really into this project. Ric's involvement in it, I hopefully would lead everyone to understand kind of the way we want to cement this, and and be here for a long time. And we're excited to get this. We're excited to get this rolling and to get the community involved, and for everyone to be excited.
And again, that I appreciate you going into that. Oh, my dog just got scared by something. I appreciate you going into that kind of detail there for me, and that's what I really wanted to start with for people, is just understanding kind of the supply, a little bit more on the tokenomics, because like 12.5 million, I think it was 2.5 million LP, 5-to-1 ratio. Like, you don't really see that many times. You have a 20% LP ratio, which, I mean, if we see we're talking meme coins. Look at Pepe, less than 1%. Like, these ratios that you guys have set up are very interesting to me as a meme coin. So I did want to spend some time there, if that's okay. I'm gonna have to go on mute. I'm getting a little congested.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'll let Alex W go into this process on the dev side here.
Yeah, for sure. Right. So you're absolutely right. I mean, you look at these Pepe, you look at these Bonk, you look at the Sponge, right? You look at all of these other, meme coins that are out there that have hyper growth. I mean, the LP to MC is just trash, right? It's $100 is going to go and make that project just moon, which, it's great for people that are looking for something that's, woohoo, right? Every 5 seconds I look at my bag and it's worth another, 10 grand or whatever. But, that's not reality, guys, right? Like, and that's not what Ric is about. Like, we sat down collectively as a group and said, hey guys, like, we want to do a project that has longevity, that can, that honestly, can outlive Ric, right? I mean, Web3 space is still so new. And I mean, with all of the bad press that comes around with meme coins and projects as a whole, ourselves, I mean, how many projects have we been in that, we've had some fun, but then you go to sleep and you wake up and, your money's gone, dude. The project is dusted. And it's
Or you try and
because
sell
of
it,
the-
and your slippage makes it gone.
and it's because of the way in which that, right, price impact, you can't even get out because there's no liquidity, right? And so when we sat and talked about it, we said, listen, we could do a 1-to-1, we could do a 2-to-1. We settled at, like, I believe, like a 2.5, almost a 3-to-1, right? So it's literally, I think it's a 22 or 26% ratio. But we did so not to make the chart just super moon. It's really a place for us as real world partners, as well as crypto enthusiasts, to have a project that we can go to sleep at night and say, hey, okay, we know that, crypto, people should be buying and selling the project, right? Like, there should be opportunities to buy. And the only way you can get an opportunity to buy is if somebody sells, right? I mean, everybody's looking to get in at a cheaper price and make some money. But yeah, you jump into some of these chat groups and it's like somebody will sell a $200 position and you'll get these jeets out, paper hands. Like, that shouldn't be the case, right? I mean, it should be, people should be able to come in, make some money, have some fun, share some laughs, and be a real community and chime in and say, hey guys, for us, right? Hey, I saw your WOOOOO over here. Hey, I was able to buy this product with Woo, or, hey, I'm going to be buying some wrestling tickets, and, maybe this vendor may support and accept Woo, right? Like, these are the things that we as a team want to see happen, but we can't do that with a 20, 30, 50, 100 to 1 ratio, because the moment that somebody cashes out their coin to buy a real world product with the token itself, what's going to happen? You're going to get some red on the chart, right? Well, if you have a 10x dump because somebody sold $1,000 worth of the project, well, it's not viable. It's not long term. And, for us, that was really the major tipping point when we said, how are we going to structure this? Was, we want to be able to let people buy and sell, but we also want to create real world utility off of our token. And in order to do that, people are going to be selling that token. They're going to be using that token, right? I mean, you go to ricflairshop.com right now, you can buy the token. We're working with Shopify as we speak. Our partners are busting their ass every day to get the compliance gateways verified so that we can start accepting, the payments directly through Shopify, right? The moment that happens, I mean, how many thousands of Shopify sites and stores are stood up that are in the space of merch, right? That are in the space of wrestling, that are in the space of entertainment, that are in the space of music, that are in the space of travel, right? All of the things in which that our group collectively is engaged in is, it's just, it had to be, if not 1-to-1, 2-to-1 ratio, so that's why we did so. I appreciate your, your identifying that, that we weren't a 50-to-1, 100-to-1 ratio, the way in which that some of these meme coins are, but it's really, I think, because we're a hybrid meme / utility token.
I think that's, again, it's personally for me, like the type of stuff that I look at, and, I'm typically more of a utility or longer term guy. That's a really bullish indicator for me. Just the fact that you guys care so much on the liquidity, that you're not just trying to make an instant moonshot. And, what we've seen even in the last couple of months is the way that meme coins have run with these, skewed liquidity ratios. We've even started to see utility projects now launching and almost like holding back percentages of their liquidity so that they can get these massive pumps and, get more funds into the project. But end of the day, it's interesting when they do that, because sustainability wise, like it's not really the best way to go. It's better to almost have a thicker liquidity pool, and then there's a couple of methods that you can use using decentralized liquidity to thin that out over time. I'll use the project Link as an example, because they, again, like you guys, started out around 25%, and they've been using mechanisms to thin it out over time once the community and everything is established, if they want the chart to then grow a little bit quicker. So, great identification by you guys. Personally, it does fit kind of what I look for in terms of like longer term, because the other side is, as you guys push marketing, one of the things I think a lot of people misunderstand is I think I've had to even educate some callers, is I'll see people flexing, oh, I called this and, it pumped like this. And I'm like, dude, you brought like 3K in volume, but it's the multiplier of the liquidity ratio is why the chart has a big candle on it. I was like, you brought 3K in buys. You didn't pump it 300,000, just FYI. And these people are like, what do you mean, man? Like, no, I did look at the chart. I'm like, look at your volume. Look at the buys. Look at the last 15 minutes on the buys, like transactions, like $300, $800, like you total 3K. Yeah, the chart looks the way it does because of your liquidity ratio on what you're calling. And I get it. You want to call that and flex it so it looks good on you. But I'm like, I guess the way I would put it is, there's almost like misdirection right now in the space being created by, projects and influencers in a way, because how the liquidity ratios are so weak on most projects. So it's a lot of kind of false pumps, and we see things go down just as quickly as we see them go up, like you alluded to. So yeah, I think you guys are setting yourself up very well, and it also makes it more attractive for larger buyers or institutions or stuff like that to get involved, right? So you know, speaking to what you mentioned with some of the events, is that why you guys have kind of done it that way? Because, you know, the token or some of the experiences are a little bit more catered to that serious investor, serious buyer, and somebody who's not just looking for a quick flip overnight.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, that was one of the reasons. I mean, I was talking to one of our founders last night. We were just kind of going back and forth because obviously when you made the decision that we've made, right, and you kind of go against the grain, it's some people aren't going to like that. There's going to be people in here that don't like that. And I understand that. I get that, that a lot of people are looking for that, instant gratification, that, crazy kind of chart activity. But like we said, the reality is that that does come with also potential downfalls, and it's just as quickly as the chart goes up, it can go down. And we do have a lot of large scale investors that we spoke to that are still interested in coming in the project. We do believe that as we go live on these centralized exchanges, we're going to have an increase, a sizable increase in volume. We are working with professional market makers, and we're taking Ric to Dubai in April for Token 2049 to meet some investors. So yeah, I think that is definitely that was definitely part of the rationale, for sure, is to allow larger whales to come in, and and because it goes both ways. You can put 50 grand into the project, and you're not gonna slip yourself to a high degree, as compared to a lot of these other projects. I mean, it's it's just I think people have been kind of groomed now. Like you were saying, there's a lot of misinformation in the space, right? Like, they've kind of become indoctrinated in this perception of, if it's like, this meme coin, then it has to kind of follow a certain standard as far as liquidity ratios. And and it's made it so that these gains have become normalized, I guess you could say, that because we do want gains. Don't get me wrong. Like, we want to grow this project, and we're determined to do so. And we believe that we have the investors, and the community is growing at a pace, and we have the exchanges to do that. But people want to see these, these 1000x over a period of 10 days, when they start off at $50,000 market caps. And and I mean, don't get me wrong, I've invested in projects like that before, but it's also, when you go to get your money out of it, the money's not, the money is far less than what you see in that wallet when you go to sell it. And that's because of the slippage and the lack of liquidity. And we want to be able to provide larger investors the ability to get in and get out, without harming the smaller investors. So that definitely was part of it. I mean, and OXW, anything else you want to say on that?
I was actually going to say, I think that you bring up a good point, really quickly, that you can actually, I think there's actually more profit potential in a project with liquidity this high, because you could actually put in 50 grand and then get out if you were to 2x and actually take out your profits. Because if you're only sitting on 300K in liquidity, I mean, you're just going to get killed by slippage, So I think that
Yeah.
a project like this has so much more profit potential, even if it's not 100x in one day. You know what I mean? I think it's still more realistic that you're gonna be walking away with sizable profits. So, yeah, I definitely agree with everything you guys are saying.
Yeah, as fun as the crypto space is, we've all had a blast. I mean, we all participate in some of these other projects, right? I mean, it's me and Woo Dude. We laugh and joke when we jump in on some projects and just whale a couple of bags, and it's you see the comments go nuts. When you drop 12 grand into a project, and 5 minutes later, you try and take that 12 grand out, and it's like, you're getting these price impact can do's. You're like, wait, what the hell just happened here, right? And it's because the lack of liquidity. I mean, they show these huge volumes, 24 hours, you've got, 5-10 million going through, and there's like $169,000 of liquidity. It's like, okay, so what's really happening here? And that was
Right.
really the soul, right? Like, on as we were looking at the chain, we're like, if we go on soul, like, it's just people are not going to take this as a long-term serious project. So we're like, yeah, it can't be. I mean, we were really, really back and forth on, finance and or ETH, and the gas prices for ETH, obviously, it hurts, right? It does hurt, but there's enough of us out there that are really in the space long term. A lot of ETH whales that are like, okay, so what if I got to pay $127 to move 20, 30, $40,000, right? Like it's okay, because to Merck's point, it's a safe place for me to go and bank my capital, right? I've got, crypto that's sitting out there right now, and why not just go and put it in a project that, okay, it's going to, provide me my 3, 4, 5% per week. Well, in a real world, where am I getting 4 or 5% per week on my money? I put my money in my bank account today, right? I go and I look at it next year, and I'll be lucky if I've got 2%. Whereas in the crypto space, it's like, okay, great. I've got my big bags in Bitcoin. I've got some big Ethereum bags, but even those, they don't move as much as a real good project could. So whether that project was a meme coin project or whether that project was a utility token, we were looking for something somewhere for Rick to be able to have fun in a safe, legal manner, right? Because you got to understand in this space as well, every celebrity that has tried to promote or be an influencer to a project has always received some pushback, or, he's gotten some mud in their face. Well, as a founder, a true operating founder and investor in this project, it's, where can he put his money that he's earning in the real world, put it in to make it grow faster than the stock market, faster than the bank accounts, and then in a safer environment than just going and investing in random shit coin. And, collectively as a group, you follow the chain as everyone does. You can see where that high, thick liquidity came from. And it came from, guys like you and I who are on this call right now today, listening to the details of this project, that are like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense, right? Maybe some of you guys have actually even pulled open your general stock portfolio and said, damn, okay, how much did my shit grow today, right? Like, what is my total portfolio worth today versus what it was worth yesterday? And now you go and look at what your crypto is worth, right? Well, okay, in some of these projects, it may be worth zero tomorrow. In this project, you ain't going to really get hurt, right? I mean, you have the ability to move money in and out. You have the ability to go and earn greater gains, to see some exits. To Woo Dude and Merck's point, you're not going to get the 100x overnight. This isn't the project for you if you're looking for 100x overnight. But the things that we have lined up with 3 of the largest centralized exchanges, with a couple of the largest trade shows, in the world on a global scale, with some of the meetings that we have and the distributions that we have and the sponsorships that we have and the promotions that we have and the TV and the video and the documentaries, all the things that are coming out, and being shot today and next month and the following month. I mean, the next 90 days for us is all about fun as we move into the summertime, right? Everybody knows summertime in Miami is woo time, Now you go and throw Tampa, Miami, maybe a little bit of San Diego and LA into the mix with the group, and we're going to be having a really, really good time, right? So for those that are on this call, if any of you guys are going to be out in Dubai, April 18th and 19th is Token 2049. We're a sponsor of that show. Rick will be out there. We're going to be having a great time. We're going to be on camels. We're going to be wooing it up, man. I tell you what, it's going to be fantastic out there. playing in the desert, hanging out in the palms. You guys make sure you come, stop by our booth, say what's up, take a picture with Rick, get an autograph, pick yourself up a real world gold WOOOOO Coin token that we've got made, and come and have some fun with us, guys. Have some fun. It's all about fun and flair, my man.
Guys going to be going to like that the Bitcoin one they do in Miami as well?
Miami was canceled. This year it's actually a national one.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
was it?
So yeah,
Okay.
so
I
Quantum-
honestly I
yeah.
don't live in that way. I know my buddy Walt went out to the one in Miami last year because obviously he's
Yeah.
from that area.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, so
Dang,
Bitcoin
he's gonna
20,
be
yeah,
crushed.
Bitcoin 23. Yeah, Bitcoin
Yeah,
23
Quantium,
was
I
it
think
was
it
in
was.
Miami.
Nashville though.
Yeah, that's where
That's
this
kind of
year's
cool.
Nashville.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nashville's a good time for anybody who hasn't been. It's pretty fun. Even if you're not a big country music fan, you can still have a lot of fun down there on that street.
Oh
Just
yeah.
in the music.
Oh yeah, especially in the Bitcoin space, man. A lot of our OGs, a lot of our maxis, we're all going to be out there having a good time. So, you guys will see us out there as well.
Love that. No, that's great representation, and I think that's again, because of the connection to Ric Flair, that like the Nature Boy brand, he himself like has some pretty famous sayings like throughout his almost 50-year career in the ring, right? And one of the probably best post-match interviews you were gonna get, throughout his time, or even pre-match, post-match, just his interviews were always hilarious. There's a few wrestlers from back in the day that I always used to laugh at. Like Rick was one. Macho Man Randy Savage, his interviews always used to just kill me. He'd say the funniest shit. So like, yeah, like some of those people, those connections to like the real world, when you show up to these conferences, people will recognize your brand. They'll immediately know who Ric Flair. Well, I mean, most people will immediately know who Ric Flair is. They'll probably know his name's the Nature Boy. They may even remember some of his matches, some of his quotes, some of his famous memes, right? So I think when it comes to branding and representation, these in real life events make a ton of sense because you're not like an Inu where somebody needs to figure out like, oh, what Inu are you? What is your like what
Yeah.
is your narrative? What's your story, right? You immediately can connect with people. And I have the, my background from university is a little bit into like psychology, and it's that emotional connection that you guys can form with people instantaneously because your brand is recognizable and it doesn't need a large build up or a large kind of prep session so for somebody to understand it. And the only way somebody apes like another meme coin without any connection is if the chart looks really good, right? And you guys will, because you're not focused on these super hyperinflationary charts where they just pump up and then they're going to have big retracements after. Like people can really watch your project, learn about your community, get involved, and not have to feel like they're going to miss like a 5x or a 10x or a 15x in like that hour, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
It's a really well-positioned brand, and you guys can connect with people, which allows them to follow you versus making a buy decision, which I feel like most projects, when people hear about them, it's all about the buy decision, which is very difficult because often they won't know what they're buying. And the second it goes down, they're just going to dump, and then you lose a community member and a holder. So
Yep.
yeah, you guys, again, very well positioned from a branding and perception standpoint compared to most, quote unquote meme coins or meme utility
Yeah, I mean,
projects that exist.
we're excited, like you said. I mean, to go to a lot of these shows and stuff, and because we were laughing. It's like you bring Ric Flair to like even an event as large as Token 2049. It's like he's like an A-list celebrity at that thing, right? It's like it's when you look at the composition of people there, right? It's like like that's so just being in the room with him is is a huge kind of is a huge advantage for the team. And and I agree with you. I think it's we're really excited to do those and to kind of get that real world kind of exposure and make our presence known. And a lot of there's a lot of institutional investors that are attracted to these events as well. We'll be speaking to several of those that we have meetings lined up for. So yeah, we're really excited to get things going from that angle.
Yeah, I think we have a really solid foundation that most projects don't start out with, like you were saying. It's not just another, Inu clone. This is a unique opportunity, I believe, to really be something massive in the next, 6 months. Just people will look back to these days or the starting days and be like, man, I wish I was there, in this community and a part of that, and I think there's so much potential with Rick and what we have planned. It's really exciting. Hopefully we can touch on a few other things that we have lined up here or that we've done for the
We're
project too.
kind
I
of
know
just going through the introduction, and really what I wanted to tie it in is, you'd mentioned some of the other ventures, 0x did in his introduction. Well, understanding for token holders now, right? Because we touched a little bit on the tokenomics. You touched a bit about some of these experiences or events, but understanding like the benefits for being a token holder of Woo as you grow up the connections with some of these other ventures and like what that may allow you from like a discount perspective. Just really starting to kind of tie the token with the overall brand, which is already established, and understanding the benefits now of kind of buying in and what this is going to get you, moving forward is definitely something I wanted to hit on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the utility aspect of it, right, is, it's, obviously, we're going to be doing weekly. So we've been working with our marketing group, already to launch some of these sort of promotions and giveaways. But, random token holders, will receive giveaways, right? I mean, there'll be drawings, there'll be lotteries, amongst the community for, AEW tickets, right, to go and see a live wrestling match, or, Columbus Blue Jackets, NHL game, or a Cleveland Cavs game, right? So any of our sponsored events, absolutely, right? So, and that's really the benefit. I mean, right now, I think we're sitting just over around 800 members, and I think our first giveaway is coming up here. Actually, I think it comes up within like a day or two. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
they got this
you're right.
big buy.
Yeah, there's a buy comp
big
right
buy
now
comp.
going on.
Yeah, so they've they've got a lot of these types of gigs that are planned, right? So the marketing team has done a really good job into sort of looking into, okay, what do people want, what would interest people, but in the terms of the utility of utilizing your coins for discounts of merch, and or even just you can't buy some things, right? So like that's one of the things that we're doing right now is we've got some products that are being literally generated and built into, the Ric Flair shop .com right now that are only available to be purchased via WOOOOO Coin. You can't even use fiat to buy some of these limited edition signed memorabilia pieces that Rick has, right? Like I know we've got an original signed championship belt, for example, right? You cannot buy this with fiat. You can't pay with your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express. The only way in which that you'll be able to purchase this is by utilizing the WooPay platform that Fate Labs has designed and developed for us, right? So that's the only way in which that you'll be able to purchase things of that nature. We've got some documentaries as well that'll be coming out, and sort of that whole pay to stream or pay to view ability. These are things that we have planned for some of the original content that is being created, right now, right? So these are things in which we'll see how far we get through them over the next 90 days. But 2024, there's so much to come, and we're not a fly by night, right? Again, to address that whole, you're looking for the 100x today, not going to happen. 100x, this year for sure. We believe that we have the potential with the community and with a lot of the real world activities that we have coming into, to really pump it. But again, that's gonna take all of these exchanges, all of the support from the community, as crypto as a whole, not just our Telegram or our Twitter or Instagram or our Discord communities. I'm talking about the real crypto community, and then buying in and seeing, how much Rick is actually doing for the space personally versus how much the space has already used him to develop their projects, right? So I think when, you know, when that true up really happens, and we think that's going to be over the next, you know, 90 days, 120 days, you know, where people realize, hey, you know, Rick has done a lot for the crypto community in terms of hyping up their projects, you know, without his direct involvement. Now that he's directly involved and out there and, you know, wanting to bring crypto and Web3 and blockchain technologies to the forefront and to the understanding that, hey, not every project is a rug, not every project is a scam, not all crypto is bad, right? There's a lot of good, there's a lot of private, right? I mean, groups that can be happening based on these things. I mean, when NFTs dropped, you know, the only way that you were able to get to some of these bigger parties in Miami was if I went and you know, I paid $100,000 for some stupid, you know, 8-bit pixelated picture. You know, don't get me wrong, I did it because of FOMO, right? I wanted to be part of that club. I wanted to be able to go out and have a good time and enjoy the free bottles at 11 and go on the yachts at night and, you know, live the life and do the thing. But that's just because we're deeply rooted in crypto, right? You know, we enjoy the space as a whole. But if we can make something that's relatively more obtainable by, you know, creating a community or a coin that can be utilized in the space, that's not, you know, thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to obtain, you know, that's something in which that as a group collectively, we've all looked at and said, hey, you know, why don't we put together a little Woo Fest or put together some type of sporting event or put together some type of get together or Web3, you know, meetup at one of these conferences or one of these shows, and, you know, just go and have fun as a group and say, hey, you know, this is what Woo life is about.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to touch on too really quick what you were
Go
saying
ahead, Mark.
about the marketing. We have a lot of marketing planned for the next 60 to 90 days, spending over 100 grand. The team has allocated over 100 grand to marketing, and we're working with a really great firm. We just started kicking it off like less than a week ago. So you're really seeing the tip of the iceberg right now as far as the marketing efforts. We have a lot planned. We're super excited to get it all out to you guys. So yeah, definitely be sure to join the Telegram and get involved with the community and just kind of, you know, sit around, see what's going on and enter whenever you feel comfortable. Lots of opportunity, I think.
No, again, I wanted to, you know, I'll talk about like maybe the state of wrestling right now, because, you know, anybody who follows it that closely would have seen that recently Vince McMahon had to announce his resignation. So, you know, wrestling as a whole is you know, a bit of an interesting place right now. And, you know, from a funding perspective, it may need some support. So I think moving forward, just because of crypto and kind of how it's slowly moving towards the regulations and the acceptance side for more of the mainstream, you know, I think there could be an interesting connection. You know, we've always talked about how sports is a good fit for crypto via, you know, wagering or betting and whatnot. But you guys mentioned payments, and, you know, it'd be cool to see, you know, merchandise being bought and sold at, you know, a WWE like SummerSlam event or something like that with WOOOOO Coin, like, you know, that type of
Oh, yeah.
partnership in real life
Yeah,
usage
so we actually
specific to
have
the brand. Yeah, I wanted to see if you guys had any plans.
Yeah, so we've actually we actually just worked out a deal in fact on Sunday, you know, with Ric Flair, the shop, so the merch shop, right? So, you know, there's a lot of licensing, as you can probably imagine, in terms of what we can and cannot sell and where we can sell it. But one of the agreements that we just made with Wendy Kidder, of the shop, who owns all of the rights to Tony Khan's AEW, the WWF, the WWE, and working with Mark Serrano, who is their 25-year head of talent over there, talent distribution and product media relations. Mark just actually left to go and work with Wendy more intimately on bringing some of these outsider brands back in for legacy products. And one of the deals in which that we did work out was a point of sale presence for retail locations as well. But then obviously we're going to be doing some new limited edition available only on RicFlairShop.com for some of the appearances that he's going to be having for the AEW deal that we have now as well. So Wendy, she's super stoked on bringing the merch into the crypto community as well. So again, for those that don't know of the site, RicFlairShop.com, make sure you guys go stop by, check it out. There's a lot of really good merchandise for sale there. Eventually we will have Shopify's blessing once Fate Labs gets that final approval from them in terms of compliance and code safety to make sure that the merchant gateway is as it should be. But for now, go and show your love to Rick. If you guys are a supporter or a fan, get yourself a beanie, a hoodie, a hat. If you've got some children, we've got baby clothes. I mean, go and buy something now. You can even buy WOOOOO Coin from there, right? So that's pretty cool. I think we're the first digital cryptocurrency for sale on a Shopify platform, as we've been able to figure out how to sort of manipulate that system to make it happen. But show your love. Check that out. And when you do see us table side at some of these large events, you will be able to buy some Woo merchandise, some Ric Flair merchandise with WOOOOO Coin, because one of our teammates, one of our staff will be there with their wallet and utilizing the WooPay platform. You'll be able to either scan the QR code and pay with your crypto, and or utilize one of these real world Visa MasterCards that we're working with the company right now on to further develop WooPay.
No, I think that again, from like a perspective of like usage of the token or utility of the token. Now everyone like sometimes gets like the concept of utility confused. Like there could be utility that you build being like swaps and bridges, but then like there can be utility that you work in or a use case that you work into the token to add additional layers of value outside of just chart goes up, chart goes down, right? So I think you guys going more so that route versus almost having to build out your own on-brand utilities, which you still could build out something that makes sense for the ecosystem to generate additional fees and revenue inbound. But yeah, no, I think what you guys are doing in terms of the usage of the token is really smart. Now, the events is something, and it's kind of an interesting topic because you mentioned for some of the larger holders, they may get invited to some of these things, but that's like
No, not larger. We didn't say larger.
So it's random. So it's going to be like more of a random draw-based system.
Absolutely, yes, sir. So
thank you. Okay, that's awesome.
Lucky
that's
day.
really cool.
Absolutely, man. There's just because one person can afford to buy more coin than another should not subject them to not be able to participate in the same lottery on an equal basis. There is no oh, this person spent 20 grand, so we're gonna give him some tickets to AEW. I mean, so the same person that has one token versus a million tokens has the exact same chance and shot. I mean, it's all just about random numbers, right? So you grab one of these lottery generators, you put all of the people in there, and this is it. So if you're in the Telegram, you're in our channel there's 800 people, right now. There'll be a little bit more, and as it goes, you'll just randomly grab a name and, hey, you won this prize, hey, you won that. I mean, we've got token reserves for giveaways, for central exchanges, for marketing, for all of these aspects and elements that we plan to bring in to really hype up and stoke our community and our holders out, right? It's it's not just about buy a token, sit and hold it. I mean, it's how can we better everything, and again, most importantly, have fun with the flair that we're creating, right? And it's all about that fun. So if you can go and give somebody something, whether it's you know, maybe it's just a 6-pack of WOOOOO Energy. I mean, it's great tasting, energy drink. It's 7 mushroom elixir blend. It's healthy. It tastes great. It's a great mixer. I mean, there's so many benefits to that. Or maybe it's, the rolling papers or some gummies or, some candies or some drinks or, there's so many products that we have as a Woo brand that we can give to our holders. The hardest thing that we have found in this space, particularly, is getting those holders, the actual real world product, right? Virtualized products are easy because people could use Proton Mail. They can use emails, Gmails, Yahoos, AOLs, .RUs. But sending people real world gifts, we have found to be a bit difficult, which is really why we said and set out as a group to integrate and work extremely hard to get the integration of WooCoin to be accepted amongst some of these other payment platform gateway service providers for your WooCommerce, your Shopify, your e-comp stores, right? To be able to accept the coin so that people can sort of still anonymously go and buy product or receive product through there. But we're doing what we can on our side to, bring the utility, to bring the fun, and most importantly, to bring Ric's legacy into this space, as deeply rooted as he was, within the wrestling community. He really loves this whole crypto platform. I mean, he just has so much fun every time we talk about it. He asks every time we sit and have dinner and drinks, hey, how's the coin doing? What's the status update here? How can we get this going? Hey, I really have this idea. Would you think we could do this? And, some of the stuff that's being done today as we sit here on our call, Ric is in the studio shooting some brilliant content that is just mind blowing. And, we're super stoked to release this once the editors get this stuff done. And, it's just, we're having a lot of fun with this.
Man, like, I don't know if within that, like, you guys plan to do any form of like gamification. I mean, personally, all the way back to like N64, and then
Bring me a game developer, and we'll
Yeah.
bring Ric into a green
yeah,
screen
like even if it was
studio.
something like fun, like a Royal Rumble style, like
Man,
knockout match,
bring
like
We're actually
super
working on it right
developers
now.
and we'll do,
basic.
yeah.
Like,
So, yeah,
I
we-
don't even know how many hours I wasted playing Royal Rumble matches with like my buddies as a friend. And you wait for the one guy to run into the ring, and then you just like wait there. And the second he gets in, you kick him right back out. And then your friend tries to fight you in real life. That was always a blast.
Yeah, like as Alex said, like there's game developers out there who are interested. This obviously we've thought about this. We have we're currently talking with our marketers right now who are involved with some GameFi developers, and yeah, I mean that is it's in the pipeline. We want to, we're the kind of team where we like to be honest and realistic. We're not going to put that in our roadmap till we're 100% confident that that's where we're going. And like I said, we are down the path, and when it's confirmed, yeah, we will absolutely let everybody know.
Yeah, there's nothing that's not on the table, right? I mean, this is, I think again, this is, one of those, messages that we really need to drive into the community is that this isn't just some, oh, we're taking the name or we're taking somebody's persona, right? Like, no, this is Ric. Like, Ric is involved in this company, in this project, to where, if we want to do a game, if we want to do any of these things that generally take licensing and legal, we have the full ability to be able to make those things happen. So if there are teams on this call listening to this lounge right now that have these teams in place or have the technical abilities, don't be scared to reach out, and say, hey, we're real world developers. We have real world ability to be able to make these things. And, we would love to make these partnerships because this is just going to further root Ric's legacy in this space. And this is what he wants, right? He wants to just make people smile and have fun. And whether that's, buying coins or selling coins or riding camels or playing games or having drinks or just sitting and laughing with your buddies, that's what Ric's about.
Love that. Now going into the like the energy drinks and stuff like that. So anything that requires like goods. I know sometimes people are, well, I guess two sides of that. Geographic location, crypto is so global. So, sometimes people are concerned, if I want to support, if I want to buy, where can you get the products shipped to? Where do you have to, I guess, live to be able to qualify, utilize that is one question. I'll jump to in a second now.
Yeah, there again, no geographic restrictions, right? I mean, the only geographic restriction that we quote unquote have, right, as per the disclaimers on the website, right, is that we can't sell you crypto if you're in the U.S., but we can send you products to anywhere in the world. So you can go to wooooooenergy.com and you can place your order and get WOOOOO Energy. You can go to ricflairshop.com and you can place your order and we'll ship it globally. There is no geographic restrictions for the products and services that we offer. Apparently, there's just a restriction of where you can technically buy currencies or cryptocurrencies. So we leave that to the exchanges and what have yous. But we can provide people with links of where they may be able to purchase such things. But so yeah, there is no geographic restriction for products to be purchased and shipped to. And the same with the giveaways, right? Everybody has bought a product from Wish or Sheen or what have you, or maybe I'm the only one with daughters. I don't know. But UPS, FedEx, DHL, USPS, they all ship globally. So, there is no fret, no frown, no worry about being able to participate in some of our giveaways. Obviously, if we're giving away some AEW Live, NBA Live, or NHL Live event concerts or wrestling, matches, right, or sporting events, we probably aren't going to cover the airfare unless it's like one of our big buy competitions. But we will be covering that VIP experience. I mean, we've got I believe Rumble is in Philadelphia coming up here shortly, a few weeks away. And I do know that we're giving away some of those tickets as well to our holders. So yeah, it's there's always going to be something going on in our community. So make sure you follow, join, and interact with us. To make sure that you can participate in those things.
And on the WOOOOO Energy side of things too. Yeah, Merc, I'll just this is real quick. The it is a growing brand. If they do a lot of work in Ohio right now. They're available in Giant Eagle. Like they're starting to roll out major distribution contracts with that. So even as far, you should start seeing them in the store. In here in the next 12 months. So for the energy aspect of things, it's a growing brand and a growing product that I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of. Go ahead, Merc.
Yep. Yeah, you're good, buddy. I was just gonna follow up with something that ZeroXW said. We're currently running a buy competition right now, actually, in the community. So definitely check that out. Over $2,000 of rewards for being a part of the being a token holder and community member. So definitely check that out because we're going to be hosting a lot of those in the coming months. So you'll have opportunity to win tokens and prizes and tickets, like they were saying, and lots of really cool stuff just for being a community member and token holder. Doesn't matter if you're holding one token or a million tokens. You have an even chance to participate and win. So yeah, definitely get involved. It's a really fun community. The community is actually really starting to ramp up recently. The last week or two of marketing is starting to pay off. We're starting to see results. So still super early. So definitely it'd be awesome to have you guys involved and just, be a part of the community and interact with everybody and meme around. We're always having fun.
No, I think that's again for me, like you guys have an awesome brand. Being tied to the Nature Boy with him being an official founder, and then you guys kind of looking to bridge that gap to some of the additional Web2 brands and businesses that he's running. It's like it's really unique, right? It does kind of tie them in a decentralized or digital world. Like crypto is a great use case and kind of ties everything together. It allows an additional layer for payment and yeah, like again, I think it makes sense. And then when we talk about usage in like some of those real life events, some of those big like Summer Slams, Survivor Series. Like I don't know I've lost track of some of the branding, but that's what it used to be called back in the day. I know WrestleMania obviously is the big one still, but just as you guys can potentially push the token to be utilized in that sense could really go an extra way, right? Just from visibility. I want to talk about from, maybe when I came across a project at first, you guys were sitting around like maybe high sevens, low $8 million range. So what were some of the events and catalysts that kind of caused you guys to go through that last mini pump that you saw within the chart?
I think it was kind of a lot of the hype that we saw was right when we launched it, and some of the marketing that we had done around that, some influencers, etc. And so we kind of took our foot off the gas there to reconvene. We started working with a new group of marketers here, like Mr. Merck had said about 2 weeks ago, and put that game plan into place about a week ago. And so the level of marketing, what I will say to that is that the aspects that we kind of saw that were working, that were working for increase in wallet holders and volume, we took those and we quickly sidestepped into with a larger marketing team. And if we're being honest, we about like 4x the spend that we were doing within a 4-week period, and have created a lot of cool partnerships here over the last week with some KOLs and influencers that we believe are going to be very impactful here over the next 8 to 12 weeks. And a lot of that is was done because we are going live on MEXC on February 8th and Bitmart on the 22nd of February, and we have a couple other cool announcements in the works here that are coming down the pipeline very quickly as far as the exchanges are going, as far as exchanges go. And so we wanted to create awareness around that. And as a lot of people in the space know, getting on those centralized exchanges could really be a game changer as far as adoptability, ease of access. Not everybody is involved in the decentralized, not everyone is comfortable going on a decentralized exchange. I know we all are, but there are a lot of people too that prefer to do it on a centralized exchange as opposed to the decentralized side. So it's I think it really opens up the door for larger scale buys, for people that are have tokens on a platform, etc. And MEXC is one of the largest exchanges right now as far as volume is concerned. And like OXW had mentioned, we are working with some even larger ones right now that we see as coming down the pipeline very quickly. It's not going to be something that we stall on. It's going to be something where we want to kind of continue to build momentum. So as far as like momentum pillars are concerned, right? Like over the next 3 months, we have a lot of really, really, really big momentum pushes.
Yeah, I want to say too, to answer your question, before we did the pre-sale, we had Ric Flair actually support it on his social medias. So that's mainly where a lot of the hype came from, the initial pre-sale hype. We didn't really do any traditional marketing at all. So I think that's pretty impressive that we managed to raise so much, around 1.52 million total. in the initial pre-sale, maybe 2.5, maybe even. It was around there. It was really, it's on this website, but really, really impressive numbers that we did without any traditional marketing. So we're just now, the last week, raising awareness of the project and trying to reach the traditional crypto audience. We actually have around 430, 440 holders right now. So just from that metric alone, you can tell there's a lot of growth potential. I mean, a lot of these meme coins have, they got 10,000, 8,000 holders, and they're sitting at, a million, 200 million market cap, 100 million, 200 million market cap, with little liquidity. So we're sitting at a really strong position right now, I believe, for growth potential. I mean, just think about it. 10,000 holders would just do absolutely wonders for our project, and that's our goal. We're trying to really scale this and reach a large audience. And so I'm going to keep doing AMA rounds and like WOOOOO was saying, keep pushing the marketing hard. We have an amazing team we're working with, lots of people around the clock, hammering this thing. So yeah, it's super excited. I'm super excited. Maybe you can tell by my voice, I'm amped up about it. And yeah, man, I hope to see you guys around and within the community.
And like, for me, I can't wait till you guys start rolling out. You mentioned Token 2049's coming up, and that's in April. Will that be the first IRL event that you guys are going to be hitting on the crypto front?
No, Nashville. So Bitcoin Nashville actually is the first event. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one. And then Token 2049, right?
Okay, so you guys got a couple then within the next, what is that, 2.5 months coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we were actually last week we were scheduled for the 24th and 25th in Miami. And Rick was super bummed. We actually transported, the golf cart and everything down. We've got a full wrapped cart and system. We're gonna be passing out tokens and drinks and taking pictures and giving out some stickers that for people to be able to receive a couple of WOOOOO Coin tokens. We were told, hey, why don't we go and do an airdrop? Well, no, why do an airdrop when Rick can go and actually give people some WOOOOO Coin just by sending it to them, people that come up and meet us. But Quantium, they decided that they were going to focus on London. So it's the second week of February. They're doing a show out in London, and they decided to take a rain check and a pass on Quantum 2024. And they did so with what I think it was like 10 days advance notice. So it was sort of crazy, but okay, we said that's not a problem. We'll just reconvene and do our own thing. So yeah. And I'm sorry, I was just actually texted. So Bitcoin 2024 actually is July 25th. So this other Bitcoin event that we're going to be attending in February is not the large Bitcoin 2024. So I just need to correct myself there.
Okay. Like a smaller one just to help build some awareness. And those more intimate events sometimes are really nice because it allows you guys more time to meet with different attendees and guests, different projects, speakers, people in the space. So yeah, sometimes those exclusive events actually work out better for the project and the exposure connections you're able to make. Now, there's maybe one or two more areas that I wanted to cover off. Now,
Yeah,
social engagement, social branding and stuff like that. Like, what are you guys doing to push like the WOOOOO itself?
Yeah.
Show me
great.
your WOOOOO, like best WOOOOO contest, like that kind of fun, engaging type of mentality act just to push people and get that maybe viral moment on TikTok, right?
WOOOOO challenge, man. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, so we've been going back and forth, right? And as well, obviously, in utilizing, Rick's posture and stance here. So, as you'll see on like Coin Market Cap, CoinGecko, Dex Tools, everywhere, that our socials are listed. We initially had launched the project just under Rick's Twitter, his Instagram, right, was the registered handles there. And we were posting a lot and doing a lot of the videos for the pre-sale and building it in. And one thing that that became apparent was that, we don't want to saturate all of, Ric's Twitter and Instagram with, purely just crypto, with Woo Energy, with Woo Sticks, with, our Woo Chews and all of the other products that we were hitting hard right now on the marketing for. So we decided to create sub accounts, right? So of one of those sub accounts, we obviously created the WOOOOO Coin account on Twitter. It's linked to Ric's as well. He'll be popping in and doing some Twitter spaces, randomly for people that happen to be, in our TG chat the other day on Sunday. Ric just wanted to talk to everybody, man. He was, we were watching the Ravens game, and he was super stoked on that. And then the Ravens started losing, and he's like, I need a pick me up, man. Like, let's jump on live VC and just talk to people and have some conversations. And so we did. And one of those conversations is, was with one of our community members who he's been making some really, really cool viral content. I believe he goes by Exilius, Zach is his name, and great guy, just fun, man, full of flair, full of energy. He's always got a can of Woo Energy in his hand. He's filming these videos, and I don't if you go and look on Ric's Insta and stories and Twitters, you'll see that he actually embraces and reposts and retweets a lot of that content as well to try and kick off, as Mark had mentioned, one of these things that we're going to be doing is the Woo Challenge. Ric wants to hear people's best woos, right? So when you're in public, just go and give a woo, film yourself doing that woo, and tag Ric. Just tag the Nature Boy Ric Flair on Twitter, tag us on Instagram. Show your love of the woo, and and same, tag Woo Coin, right? Just he really wants to see that people are enjoying what he has brought to the world and the word woo. It's I think, as you pointed out earlier, Maurice, right? It's like, when anyone knows that brand, when somebody hears woo, right? Everybody knows instantaneously who that is, right? Now, whether you're from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, everybody recognizes that. It's just one of those things that one day, when you're walking in the mall or you're walking in a grocery store, and you've got that bro code, that guy code, where you'll hear the monkey call, the and the whole store starts doing that because their wives have dragged the men to those shopping centers, right? Like, those are the types of things in which that Ric wants to see. When somebody goes woo, you're always going to hear a response. You're always going to get a woo response back. It's that's just the impact that Ric has. And so some of these viral woo challenges, some of these other woo takeovers, these are the things that we really want to start spreading awareness to, and just adopting the woo culture in general, right?
I mean, I think personally, we talk about other projects that have gone viral via like videos and created these trends via their videos on TikTok or YouTube, Instagram, whatever even Twitter, whatever the platform may be. That's led to different narratives being created, right? Most recently, I think it was like that Smurf cat one that was kind of just like from an old TikTok video that ended up kind of creating a bit of a trend and then ran up. So we have seen these videos of a great way, a great tool to create that virality that I think every project hopes to achieve. And yeah, if you can do that, I think just because of the fact that Ric Flair is also so well known, I think it just adds a lot of fun. And you may even get some bigger name participants. Like it'd be cool to see some other former wrestlers or former Hall of Fame or current Hall of Famers kind of jump in and post a video, right? Because maybe they follow them on Twitter, maybe they're on Twitter and they're active, right? So like there's just some different potential outcomes because of the connections and whatnot with this project, and I definitely like it. So that was
Yeah, that's
one of the
sure. There's definitely a lot of celebrities that are starting to just start to tweet woo, you know. It's that's for sure.
And one of the things I see, I saw a couple people ask in the chat, is that about NFT specifically. And I just want to let you guys know that we are actively building out NFTs right now with our marketing team. You know, working on kind of the correlation back to like how can we tie this, you know, as far as releases go to and rarities go to specific events. What can we give away? What can we offer them? What kind of incentives can we make? And I would say in the next 2 weeks, you're going to hear a release from us on that topic. But that is 100% coming, and it's in the pipeline. Just so you guys know to answer some of those questions.
perfect. And then the other area that I wanted to kind of cover off with you guys here, for me was like listings, right? And like some of the ways that you guys are going to um, push additional eyes and volume into the token on listing. So is there any, I think you guys have a few right now currently active, but are there any upcoming or stuff like that that again just may help on some of the volume generation?
Yeah, you're talking about like
Yeah, you guys are on
sex listing?
next.
We're gonna be. So yeah,
Okay,
in
upcoming.
February, yeah. So starting early February is when the first listing is going to happen. All the details are in our Telegram and website. But yeah, it's super exciting. We're going to be trying to partner with as many as we can. That makes sense, of course. We're not trying to dilute ourselves, but we definitely see a lot of potential in some of these major tier one CEX listings. And yeah, I mean MaxC, Bitmart, two of the biggest tier ones that we can actually partner with. Some other ones that the team has been talking to that we're excited to be announcing. Coin Store is one of them too that I can confirm. So we have 3 confirmed right now, but there's definitely going to be more. And yeah, they're going to be, some of those exchanges are actually going to be deploying a marketing campaign for us as well. So that's super exciting. Their audience massive, massive. And Mexi's got like 1 million followers. Bitmart's got hundreds of thousands. So lots of really cool potential for volume increase there. So yeah, we're super excited. Obviously, we're pushing that news to our followers as well and our community members, and to do these AMAs, we're doing that as well. So
Yeah. Additionally, on top of just the marketing that the exchanges are going to do, like OXW had alluded to just earlier, Rick is currently in the is in a studio right now doing these really cool it's kind of like 360-degree like LED wall and ceiling type deal videos that are cross promoting some of these exchanges that we're listing on. It's going to be really cool content that we think the exchanges are going to be really excited to retweet and get involved in. Not many projects bring not only like a celebrity but also grade A film content to market their exchange listing. So we feel like that's kind of something that we can offer that other people can't. So we're trying to take advantage of that. Additionally, we have some of the largest market makers working with us to help facilitate volume on the chart, and they also do employ their own marketing strategies. They work with the exchanges, so there is kind of a whole ecosystem around just marketing for the actual exchange launches, to make sure that they are successful, because it's in everyone's interest, right? Whether it's the exchange, the market makers, the token holders, the owners of the coin, whatever it might be, to make sure that there's volume on the chart and make sure that there's good price action. And so we feel very confident that because of the amount of entities that are involved in making this successful, that we can achieve that.
Amazing. I'm just kind of reading through a couple of the questions here from my coordinator that were sent
Yeah,
over.
man, that's what I would. I mean, I see you've got a fairly large group. I don't know how you guys do, but we've been talking a lot and just sort of going off of what we have. But I mean, if there's any specific questions, we're not shy.
So there was one here from, so we do get them kind of sent through, and my coordinator will kind of like read through the questions that he gets sent, and when they get dropped into the comments, and he sends through like more of the unique or some of the better questions he finds. So this one's from Dev Kelv. You mentioned some of the NFT, a little bit about the NFT collection. Are these
IVNs, yeah,
NFT?
IVNs, yeah.
Yeah, so he was just curious, are these going to be exclusive in WOOOOO Coin, or would it be ETH based to purchase? And then are you guys looking to focus on, focus the collection on iconic Ric Flair moments, to kind of immortalize them as an NFT, like would your legendaries be like his title wins, exclusive entrances, etc. So
Yeah,
that's
so
for you guys
great.
to tell.
Great question. So yeah, so the IVNs that we have, right? I mean, the IVNs are, they're intrinsically valued NFTs, right? The way in which that NFTs should be. And I strongly encourage those that don't know about IVNs and how they work to really visit fatelabs.com to learn more about how IVNs work and how you can store real value in an NFT, right? Other than just the NFT being worth, whatever it may be worth that you're willing to pay me for it. But when we do launch our IVN collection, it will be based off of legacy, real world moments. There's some exclusive artwork that, Ric's wife, Wendy, she's done almost all of the designs for a lot of the legacy stuff on Ric Flair's shop. We have a lot of these new robes and some of his title robes and boas and things of that nature that are just iconic over the last 30 years of him stepping out, right, in various things and pictures right now being digitized to be brought into these IVNs and sold out, right? So, and they will be based on WOOOOO Coin to start. They'll be obviously paired to ETH, but it will be, WOOOOO Coin focused IVNs.
Perfect. So we're gonna get a couple hands up. We'll maybe pull Sue up. And then I had another good question here from the group.
I just want to say really quick too, for anybody concerned about security, we've been audited by Hacken. So Hacken's a very renowned and well-known auditing firm. We've been KYC'd by Assure DeFi, and our liquidity is locked. We just recently locked it for 90 days. So we're taking security very seriously as well. We didn't mention that yet, but that's an important point to bring up. So don't have to worry about any of that. We're taking it very seriously.
So now we talked about a little bit into merchandise and whatnot partnerships. Have you guys looked to open the conversation with the actual WWE merchandise shop or the WWE universe to try and get some Woo specific branded stuff in there? Doesn't have to maybe yet incorporate the token, but just getting some Woo logoed or branded stuff in there could be a good
Yeah,
attraction piece.
so
And that's from
so
T-Rex.
again, great question. We were actually approached via a couple of official shops. So Ric's current deal, as some of his fans in the wrestling space know, maybe not within the crypto space, his current deal is with AEW, right? So we have had conversations with Tony and saying, hey, Ric would like to be able to have the opportunity to be able to sell this. Again, it's all about getting that real world system integration, right? So for us, we will be available on a bunch of these platforms the moment in which that, our technology providers are able to provide us with the systems to be able to accommodate that, in order for us to be able to go on, a WWE and AEW and NBA and NHL, any of those officially licensed stores and or directly from those brands' own pages, right? Same as Live Nation for any type of event or concert or promoted series, or celebratory event that may be occurring for live engagements, whatever those may be, in order for Woo to be accepted, and or for Woo products from the coin side to be presented for sale, those are things in which that we need to go hand in hand and make sure that we have those those real world technology systems in play to be able to sell it. As we don't want to sell a Woo Coin shirt and not have it be bought in Woo Pay, right? So we want to be able to accept Woo Coin to purchase a Woo Coin shirt. And that's where I stated, for people that are interested, go to ricflairshop.com. They can purchase the coin from that shop, but also there are links within the exclusive merchandise that will bring you currently right now. It'll take you out of the ricflairshop.com and bring you into a third party provider who does accept WooCoin as payment, right? So you'll be able to buy, I believe right now there's, I want to say maybe 8 or 10 different t-shirt designs that are available. I think there's 3 hat designs as well that are available. And I think there's a couple of coffee mugs that are currently available in terms of those designs. And those products, they can be accepted from WooPay. But in order for it to be on AEW's live official site, we would need to get that WooCommerce Shopify plugin. We got to go through the unfortunately the real world compliance to do so. But our technology providers are they're in the weeds of that right now, day to day. Legal has been in communication with each other. The engineering teams have already started the integration. And the systems, ourself on our side have been tried, tested, and are ready for deployment. It's just about, ticking the proper boxes with these real world, providers. So great question. Thank you.
Of course, thanks so much, Rex, for that one. Sue, if you want to go ahead and jump in, you can. I saw another one that Vlad sent me that I definitely wanted to cover. So we'll get a little bit of a break from the audience questions and Sue can jump in live. And then, I'll get the next question read up here.
Yeah. Woo.
Nice. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, that never gets old.
Never
Ric
gets
Flair,
old.
one of the most well-known wrestlers of all time. I had a couple of questions there. They're kind of related, and they tie into sort of a similar thing. But let me start off with this. I went on to the WOOOOO Energy drink website, and I don't really see any mention of the WOOOOO Coin on that website, which I think is because they are 2 separate businesses. Is that correct?
So
they don't share.
Nope. So it's actually, if you go to the checkout page, we had it working and then Shopify pulled us. But if you go actually on the checkout, right before your ability to input your address for shipping, and instead of choosing your Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express, you can actually choose the Woo. But it has been shut off because Shopify pulled the hack plugin that we had. So we are all the same group. They are different divisions, but it is the same owners, same founders, same dollars invested in each of the projects.
Wonderful. Okay. That's what I thought, but then
Yes.
since I did not see any mention of the crypto there, so I thought maybe they were, even if they were part of the same parent company, I thought maybe they were treated as 2 separate businesses, and
So they are. They are absolutely. They are 2 separate businesses. However, the push internally is the same, right? So we obviously will be pushing all of our products as proper professional businesses do. We want to push our WOOOOO Energy drink to all of our global audience within the crypto community, but we also want to be able to allow our crypto enthusiasts the opportunity to purchase our WOOOOO Energy drink utilizing, our cryptocurrency as well, right? So,
Right.
it is absolutely, one hand to the other. Our marketing, as to Woo Dude's previous point, literally as we speak, Rick and team, they're in the AI LED studio as we speak, shooting and filming commercials and content. The same commercials, the same content for Woo Energy is for our Woo Coin, as people will see. We will be releasing it much quicker than they will, just because we provide to our real world distributors and beverage distributors, and have to go and purchase the time slots to run the ads that correspond with the AEW live events, that correspond with the Blue Jackets NHL hockey games, correspond with the Cavs games, right? So once basketball season kicks in, so those commercials will be seen under the Woo Energy brand umbrella, but the exact same videos and content will be done and displayed for our Woo Coin. We just have the ability for the more rapid viewability of such said content, because we're in a much more hyper fluid environment, being in the crypto sector. So same company, same products, same promotion, same team, same founders, same bank accounts, and same overall goal, and that is just to expand all of our Woo products and Woo commerce services.
Yeah, perfect. Now that answers my question with regards to the portion of revenue being shared across the two entities in terms of marketing and development and stuff.
Yeah.
So
In fact, Woo Energy. So in fact, our Woo Energy, just to sort of illustrate and highlight one point, Woo Energy actually buys tokens as well, right? So some of these smaller buys, you guys may see some of them go across the chart, $20 buys, they're little $8 buys. They may not be large buys, but those are portions of of the sales that are auto buying into the project itself, right? So
yeah, no, that perfectly explains it. Now I couldn't see the entire can on the website, like the backside of it, but I thought it would be cool if you had like a QR code on the can itself.
Yeah,
which could
so
be
there's
scanned.
Yeah, great. So
Woo
we
Coin.
do have that actually. So
You do.
there, it's not digitally printed, but they're actually stickered. So I personally own the bottling facility in which that all of our canning comes out of, and we did just do a new shrink label with the QR code. So if you're in the US, it sounds to me as though you have a British accent, so I'm going to say and assume that you're in the UK. But if you happen to have been in the US, you may have remembered a drink brand by the name of Snapple. And Snapple used to have codes under the lid that you'd be able to go onto Snapple's website and enter that code for a chance to win prizes. The same thing we're doing with the Woo Energy drink as well is, or like the McDonald's Monopoly game, if you guys are familiar with that, where you can pull the label and you can win some free Woo, or you can get some other prizes or whatever have you. These are the type of Woo Energy give backs and marketing promotions in which that we're doing internal cross brand promotional pushes for. So we do have that. So that's a very good observation that you see, in an idea that we share as being genuinely golden.
Perfect. One other question. Now, I was reading through the disclaimer from the man himself on the website.
Which one?
Of Woo Coin.
There's three of them.
Yeah, right. The one in blue, I think, where he says he's the founder and he participated in the founder pre-sale, and then he gets a portion of the taxes because in exchange of his name and his
licensing. Yep.
Right. So it sounds like a royalty licensing kind of a deal, right? Now, what are the chances of you getting Ric Flair onto one of these AMAs? And I wouldn't have asked this question whatsoever. If I had not been on an AMA, I can't for the life of me remember the name of that project. It was something like Valor or something. This was some 10 months ago, and I happened to be on that AMA, and for my surprise, there was Ken Shamrock sitting there answering questions on Telegram.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just raised my hand like I did today, and I actually got to speak to Ken Shamrock. I couldn't believe my luck. I mean, this is a guy I loved growing up. Great wrestler, great MMA fighter, and all that.
Ken kicks ass,
but then exactly. So that's when I realized how much crypto, is capable of getting big names to actually engage with people directly. For if Ric Flair actually understands crypto or sees the merit in owning a token or promoting a token, then I thought maybe he would be at some point be available to communicate directly with the buyers or people who are investing in projects.
So he was actually on. So he jumped in surprisingly on Sunday. Like I stated earlier. I mean, we were just drinking, drinking some drinks.
Just to interrupt you, I joined, I think, like 10 minutes late. So if you've already covered this, feel free to skip over it.
So he was there, and then so Woo Dude can talk more on this, but I believe he has that scheduled. He does have an AMA scheduled with a group and or something. I don't know exactly what it is. So go ahead there.
We're actually trying to build out a like a self-hosted kind of like Twitter space with Rick. He's already agreed to do it. We're just working out the final details on that. So he's we were like OXW said, we were with him earlier in the week, and he was kind of got him excited about how the AMAs could go. And so we're just Mr. Merck right now is working on the as a community manager is working on the final details of this, and we're trying to get a date in place. And when we do that, we'll definitely be advertising it, letting everybody know, and we'll have him in there to answer some some questions. We'll field the crypto questions, and he can talk about his experience and any questions they have for him personally, etc. So we're excited. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, perfect. Part of the reason why I asked this question is also because a lot of celebrities nowadays give out their names, their images, give out the copyrights to their names and images, and they do their due diligence. They vet the team that is going to handle the PR to make sure that their name is not defamed in any way. But once that piece is done, that part of the their due diligence or homework is done, they rarely participate in the functioning of the business itself, because they're
that's not Rick, man.
They're stuck with that company.
Yeah, not at all.
So that's why I wanted to understand if Rick. This is a little more than just licensing.
No, he's into this, man. He really is. He's excited.
Yeah, he loves it, man. He's he gets the same hype that you and I get, when he goes and he looks at his wallet as well. I mean, you got to remember, he's not an influencer, right? So, he's a founder and owner and a holder and a buyer of this. He himself randomly jumps on and buys more coin himself, right? So, I mean, he just bought some the other day. I mean, yesterday he jumped in and he bought it just to show one of his other buddies how easy it was to do it, right? So he's full into this, man. He's one of those true true wooers, man. He's going woo on a bitch for real. He likes it, and he just thinks it's the coolest thing ever to be a part of something as as revolutionary as creating your own real currency, right? So anyone, and that was sort of the gig, is anyone can go and create, to the point a cool meme coin, and one that maybe obviously has some crazy pump and hype and volume on the chart. And again, there's these 1000x, 3000x. I mean, we love those. Don't get me wrong. I participate. I am an absolute participator. Somebody text me when you guys think you got one, I will whale it, and so will my partners. However, to create something that is real and, to go and bring and put his rapport, his face, his name, and stand there in a public setting and woo it up, that's really what Ric is about, right? And, and that's, what people see when they go and see him. I mean, some of these events that we have planned, and, even just some of the smaller little get-togethers, where we may randomly say, hey, 5 people, come join us if you're in this area or this city. We'll post it on the Telegram and, put it in our Discord that, we'll be in New York, we'll be in North Carolina, Chicago, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, places in which that we're already going to be anyways. Hey, come join us for dinner and drinks, right? If you're holding the coin, if you're part of our community, you're engaging with us, you're engaging with Ric. I mean, Ric is in the Telegram. Don't get me wrong. Ric is on this exact channel that I'm on right now talking to you guys. He's on this thing a lot more than I am on this channel. So, you never know when he's going to decide to click that VC button and just give everybody a little woo, but he's engaged, man. He's engaged.
Awesome. Yeah, that
Yeah, like,
clarified all my doubts. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, if you wanted to add.
no, I was just gonna say, literally, I'll put it. I'll respond to you here in the in the chat. I literally just got a picture from his manager. He's out there. He's out doing a shoot right now for WOOOOO Coin. So it's he loves this. He just loves this stuff, man. He really does.
You see the jet?
Yeah, that's what I'm putting this. I'm putting it in the chat.
They just sent
I
me
put
the
it in the chat. Yeah, I just put it in the chat. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, so he's into this, man. He is.
It's fire. What about
See
he
it.
grabbed
I
the
see
WOOOOO
it.
coin out of the treasure chest, bro?
Yeah, I saw that one too. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, they're having a really good time, and that's why we stated earlier to Maurice's question regarding Gamify. I mean, if somebody has an idea and a team, and they want they want Ric to be that that character. I mean, the metaverse space is sort of dead in terms of Oculus and those little areas, but we would absolutely be willing, and there's studios all around us that that can go and shoot them and do all that. So we're going to be in Tokyo as well over the summer. That if anybody is on here from there and they got that Capcom, just let us know. We'll go shoot some stuff with Capcom as well.
Perfect. Yeah, the man is 74. You gotta love his energy and his interest in trying out new things. I mean,
my
older
God,
people don't even. I was going
I mean,
to
dude,
give an example of my grandmother as well. But,
if I could do that when I'm his age, I mean, shit, I've done something right. I mean, it's incredible. He has a lot of energy.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to thank both of you, Woo Dude and 0xWoo, for clarifying all the doubts I had. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to end on a big woo!
Woo!
Love it. Thank you guys for having us. It's been a real pleasure. Like I said, myself and Woo Dude, we generally don't join these AMAs. Merc's got them basically under control. However, a couple of outside characters told us, that we should probably participate in this one. That you had one of the bigger real lounge groups that put some buys on the chart, had real buyers, long-term holders, and real world crypto enthusiasts that would like to get involved in long-term projects that had benefit value and a little bit more utility than some of your random shitcoin projects. So we thank you for hosting us, for housing us, and we look forward to seeing you guys engage with us within our chat. Join all of our socials, retweet us, show the love, beyond, just these AMAs. If it's of interest to, yourself and any of your guys' members. And, again, we just, we thank you enough for hosting us here.
Yeah, and I was actually I had one more question, and I really like the project. Definitely not your everyday AMA that we've had here today. It's a little bit of a, from a tokenomics, from a a liquidity ratio and everything, very unique. And it's a question here from Addy, who's one of our regulars. It's more of a perception question. If you guys are successful in building up an ecosystem around, a well-known wrestler, a well-known figure in the sports world like Ric Flair, how could you maybe benefit or leverage that success, helping other athletes potentially launch or build out a collection and a following like this? And where the perception comes in is kind of like a lot of the times, and I know our community here has seen it, athletes or bigger names are used, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons. And
Right.
we even saw one recently with Dwight Howard and
Right.
Ball Token on AVAX, which
Right. He got wrecked in that. Yeah. Right.
yeah. So kind of a question of perception in terms of like, how do you guys manage what people think about athlete driven projects just as a whole
Yeah.
right now with what's going on? And then how could, if you're successful with this brand, kind of leverage that to make maybe future stars or athletes less hesitant because of the legal side of crypto to jump in and support them in their own ventures?
I think
Yeah,
one of the
sure.
first
So-
things that
Yeah.
that I want to say, and you can take over because I got two kids upstairs screaming. Is that the what we're doing differently here at the core is, I think, what we've touched on a lot, which is like the liquidity. You see too often, like you just got done saying, even when you have a high profile celebrity who maybe comes in and is pulled in by these projects, right? And he doesn't really trust or know the people that are developing it, and the reality is that they have these crazy ratios, the names there, the pump occurs, and then all of a sudden it gets rugged or something happens where, the investors are harmed, right? I mean, we see that all of the time. I mean, this is, at this point, it's not even a rare occurrence. So for us, it's we off the bat, because of our tokenomics, we feel and if I'm being honest with you, which I know is hard to take at face value, but because we are real honest, genuine guys here, because OXW, Mr. Merck, myself are these are this is something that we know it's not going to happen. We're not interested in rugging this project. We're not interested in taking this thing to the moon tomorrow afternoon and then dumping it the following day. If we can maintain this this solid growth, this actual interaction with Ric's fans, giving them something, a platform where they can confirm that they can meet him, or they can have a higher likelihood of doing it, and we can expand on his brand, we can take his other products and we can involve them into this project. I think that gives a platform for people in the future to say, hey, this is this is something that can be done without being an absolute scam. And can be done without being, something that it's not, and it can be done legally with the right lawyers and attorneys, and and the right contracts with the celebrity as an owner, even like we're doing. Ric is an owner; he's not just a promoter, a paid promoter in this project. I think that roadmap, maybe template, can be used, if not by us, by somebody else. As we kind of prove it out to be potential reality. And so there's always opportunities to do that with other people. It's not something that we're focused on this project right now, but it's not to say we wouldn't be interested in doing something in the future. And go ahead. I know, OXW, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on the outsiders, right? I mean, that was, a question that, that came up even just on Sunday, right? As, one of the larger talent agency representatives, happened to be sitting at the bar with us, enjoying the game and some cocktails. And, once Ric jumped on, he started asking questions like, well, what is that? Who were you just talking to? And we explained it to him, and he said, hey, I've got a cast of athletes that I represent, I'd like to follow this project. You let me know if that makes sense to maybe do it with A, B, and C, right? And I mean, one of the characters that he brought to name, I told him right off the bat, I said, you know, yes, it would be cool. Don't know if he has that much, you know, pop or flair to him. But you know, some of these collegiate NIL deals, you know, I mean, throwing some NIL into the Web3 sector on blockchain, you know, wouldn't be a bad idea, right? And you know, collectively within our group and our network of professional contacts in the real world, you know, there's a lot of eyes that are looking at this project saying, wow, you know, we didn't expect for this thing to grow so fast. We didn't expect, I mean, honestly, that, you know, the liquidity pool was going to fill up and oversell, you know, as it did. We didn't expect that, you know, the pre-sale was going to go, you know, so well. And then, you know, people aping in, you know, another million right on top on launch. I mean, you know, these are the types of things that, again, to Woo Dude's point, if we can sort of, you know, just, you know, draw out the blueprint, solidify that blueprint, then we can just, you know, copy and paste and do this for other celebrities, other athletes, other entertainers, other, you know, pop culture icons that have a following, that have a fan base, you know, to really just go and take something off of that Instagram model and bring it more into a, you know, again, I've been sort of regurgitating, you know, our technology partners at Fate Labs, but bringing their intrinsic value and reclaiming their value of their likeness, of their influence, of their voice, their comments, their likes, the way in which that fans and followers interact with social media content, if they can be paid within an IVN and store that value in the systems and platforms that they interact with on a daily basis without having to have the likes of the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Snapchats, the TikToks controlling and setting that value, that's where we feel that a lot of these other celebrities, athletes, and influencers will be able to reclaim some value and extract value in an economical format or forum to be able to monetize their engagements with their followers and fan base. So to simply answer your question is yes, we would love to take a look at how we can rinse and repeat the success with other celebrities and athletes, but we feel as though that we need to, you know, first identify who that celebrity athlete is so that there can be mutually set expectations of what success looks like for that project.
Oh, I think that's great. And Ade, I love that question you posed over. Now, I think that was it from a question perspective. I didn't want to have you guys jumped off with that was still out there because really, you know, really important. And it's kind of one of the things why, you know, I love wrestling. Back when I was younger, used to watch every pay-per-view. My aunt and uncle would record it. And then, you know, a couple weeks later, whenever I saw them or a couple months later, they'd bring me like whatever VCR recording tapes they had of all the different pay-per-view events, and I would watch it. But you know, on crypto, unfortunately, like the usage of name has kind of left a bit of a bad taste in some people's mouth. But what you guys are doing so far with that connection, and again, if you can keep pushing it, you already have you know, more staying power with almost being a month old than a lot of these projects. So I'll say that's definitely going in your favor. But yeah, keep pushing it. And again, I think the reason why those projects always do well is because people are looking for that connection, right? There's so much that can happen because of the real connection to some of those names. And you know, I think it's something that's always kind of gravitated towards, or people have always gravitated towards. Unfortunately, you know, they often haven't worked out well. And that's what I said. If you guys can do well, it almost could create your own, you know, in a sense, like incubator, or just kind of, you know, network for these athletes and these other influential people to come in, which, you know, in theory should also help WOOOOO Coin out longer term, right? So, you know, a lot of interesting stuff. And as Sujay said in his questions, it's kind of cool to know that there's that direct connection. The team's going to be able to jump on calls. And when the space goes live, I definitely want to be there to kind of just hear, what Ric's all about and kind of connect. I know I love his energy personally. My dad's 76 and he's kind of like that too. I always joke. He's like, some days he has more energy than me and I'm in my 30s and he's 76 years old. So it's definitely not many in that category. And Ric's definitely one of them. So, you guys have done a great job. I know our community will definitely be able to deep dive this and, take a little bit more time now to join the community, jump into some of those spaces. And it seems like you have some exciting stuff planned for the week and months ahead. So, between some of those conferences and some of these news releases and whatnot, definitely be keeping you busy. So thank you so much for the extra hour. I know we only typically plan these for about an hour. We've already been over 2. So
have we really?
Yeah, no, it's already 5 o'clock. I didn't even.
Oh man, I apologize for consuming too much of
No,
your
that's
time.
cool, man. Like that's why we only do one of my directives when we changed to the YouTube and stuff is we used to do too many AMAs. Scaling it back to 1 a day is ideal. Give teams, if we run 3 hours, we run 3 hours. There's just no chance it's going to run into another project's time or anything like that. So just happy to have you guys. Discussion was great. Questions were solid on the back end. So thank you those who wrote over to Vlad and for Suj to jumping in. And any closing statements from you guys? This is where I just give you the mic to close off. But for me, awesome job, guys. Jump in the community, do your research, check out more on WOOOOO Coin. And, after you guys do your outro, I'll close us out with one of Ric's famous lines.
Yeah, I got a dip. So I just want to say, thank you again, as XW said, to you for hosting us. Thank you guys for asking any questions. Please feel free to message me on Telegram if you have any other specific questions. I'm always down to talk with potential holders or current holders. I love the space. I've been following it for a long time, and I'm here to witness it grow. So so thank you guys again, and I'll hand it over to OXW.
Yeah, man. Again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for hosting us. Again, sorry that we took a little longer. Maybe we went a little bit more in depth and detail of our project, but we felt that it was really pertinent for us to share the information, share sort of a floating roadmap of where we want to go, the things that we're doing, and the trajectory that we're on with you guys. So thank you to your community for those that stuck around this long. We hope to see you guys in our chats, and just again, can't thank you guys enough for hosting us. I'll turn it over to Mr. Merck for final thoughts. Woo!
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, man. I really, like they were saying, I'm just gonna echo it. I really appreciate your time, and 2 hours went by like nothing. So I really appreciate that extra time, man. Again, anybody here, please do join the Telegram. Get involved with the community. Even if you're not gonna buy right away, just be a part of the community. It's really fun. And just take the opportunity to be eligible for the buy competition we're having, and the giveaway we're doing with $500 in ETH just for being a part of the community. On the 31st of, I think around the 31st of next month, or the end of next month, we're going to be ending that. So just be a part of the community, get involved, follow the Twitter, doing lots more spaces and AMAs like this, and look forward to the AMA event with Ric Flair. That's going to be really, really fun. So thanks again, Maurice. I appreciate that. And thanks, Sujay, for your questions earlier. Appreciate it, guys.
Honestly, was a great 2 hours, guys. I appreciate the extra time. I know they don't run long unless the discussion is really good. So I do appreciate all the detail and some of the explanations, the extra breakdowns of the questions. Really appreciated. So officially kind of wraps up the AMA with the Rolex wearin, diamond ring wearin, kiss stealin, wheelin dealin, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and you're going to have a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
Woo!
Just wanted to say thanks so much for coming by. It's been a great couple of hours. I'll drop you the recording and everything. And then, yeah, I know we're going to set up a couple of additional spaces. I have some stuff rolling out in the weeks ahead, with regards to some owned spaces that we're going to be doing here, run out of our main handle on Caesars, with past AMA projects and really, bringing communities together. So yeah, let me know, Merc, if there's any of those spaces you need me to jump in, you just want some extra exposure built as as a speaker or as a, just a listener, let me know. Be happy to help out. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Love the branding, love the connection to the Nature Boy, and can't wait to get on a space or on a call with them. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the future.
Sounds good, my man.